When HOA Karen's scheme went too far, she thought sending fake inspectors to my door would intimidate me. But the second they stepped into my home, she realized she had just walked into a fortress guarded by Navy SEALs. It started as another ordinary morning at my lakeside cabin when two men in cheap suits knocked on my door, claiming they were official inspectors from the HOA. They flashed fake-looking badges and told me they were there to remove my son for safety violations. My blood boiled instantly. No HOA had the authority to touch my family, let alone my child. Behind them stood Karen, clipboard clutched, smirk wide across her face, certain she had cornered me. "This is standard procedure," she said smugly. "Your son has been reported as disruptive, and we're taking custody until the matter is settled." That was the last straw. I didn't even need to raise my voice. Before I could say a word, shadows moved in the hallway behind me. Out stepped three men, Navy SEALs, my lifelong brothers in arms, who just happened to be staying with me that week for training. They were silent, calm, and terrifyingly composed, their presence alone enough to freeze the so-called inspectors in their tracks. Karen's smirk collapsed as the tallest SEAL leaned forward and asked, "You got real credentials for this, ma'am?" His voice was calm, but the authority in it cut through the air like a blade. The fake inspectors stammered, fumbling with their cheap badges. One of them even dropped his folder, revealing blank papers inside. My son peeked out from behind me, wide-eyed but safe, watching the scene unfold. Karen tried to speak, but the SEALs had already moved, efficiently, professionally, and without hesitation. They had the fake inspectors face down on the ground in seconds, hands pinned behind their backs. Karen gasped, stepping back as one of the SEALs pulled out his phone and dialed the local sheriff. "You wanted an inspection?" I told Karen, staring her down. "You're about to get one, from real law enforcement." Minutes later, patrol cars arrived, lights flashing. The sheriff himself shook my hand and confirmed what I already knew. The IDs were fake, the men were imposters, and Karen was the mastermind behind the stunt. As she was cuffed and led away, her earlier arrogance was replaced with tears and panic. My son stood proudly beside me, clutching my hand, while the SEALs watched calmly, silent guardians of our home. Karen thought she could scare us. Instead, she learned what happens when you come after a family that's stronger, smarter, and better protected than she could ever imagine.
I am Liam, and trust me, the next HOA story is even worse. Subscribe now.